LL Nation, Irish fans, let's go. Lucky Lefty Podcast. I'm your boy, Shaun Davis. Lefty's on his way. Brought to you by Onora Whisky. OnoraWhisky.com. It's that premium American whiskey. OnoraWhisky.com. He's not there. And if you're going to drink, make sure you drink responsibly. Let's talk about it. 41-24. And we let them off the hook. 41-24 victory by the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, Carrier Dome, JMA Dome, JAC Dome, whatever initials you want to give it. We walked in and we crushed the building and the orange. Let's get to it. I love it. I have to play this. We talked about this during the week. From Dino Babers' mouth to God's ears.
Fabulous team, outstanding offensive personnel. Their tight ends and NFL tight end. Their defense is just as good as Clemson's. Okay, and that's not to talk bad about the offense. They have three tailbacks. They rotate three tailbacks. They've got a big bruiser. They got a shifty and they got a speed guy, and they are all good. And they are difficult to bring down behind that offensive line, which is always good. Notre Dame always has a big-time offensive line. And when they get the tight ends next to them, they have a tendency to be able to run the ball on anybody they want to.
And they did it today. He said it. He said it. And we said, if that team, did we not say that, LL Nation? Did we not say it in unison? That if the team Dino Babers described showed up today, we said this is going to be a double-digit win. Isn't that what we said? Now, we have some negative things to talk about. I've seen you guys, you've been tweeting me during the game, conversing with me during the game. I know how you feel about some of the play calling and all of that. That's fine. We'll get to some of that. But we'll leave that towards the end. It's too much good to talk about today. I want to say this. There are two coaches on this staff that have done an incredible job. And it's not even close. Harry Heastan, the difference you have made in this offensive line is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Brian Mason. Mace, I feel like I know you, brother. Woo. Thank you. I don't know what you said or what you've done to deliver us from poor special teams play. But we appreciate it because what we have watched over the previous 10 years was subpar. But watching this special teams unit, well, yeah, and I know, Blake Grupe, when he's on the right hash, he leaves a lot of his field goal attempts out to the right. I understand. It could come back to bite us in one of these close games, possibly against Clemson or USC in the month of November. I understand that. He's better from the left hash. With all of that being said, John Sott, solid. Coverage units, punt return and kick return, more than solid. 5 block punts on the season. I'm waiting to receive the information from the SID because that has to be close to a single season record for Notre Dame. I'm waiting for that information to come through from the SID. We should get the email sometime during the show. But let me tell you something. Brian Mason, Harry Heastan, absolutely fantastic job turning things around with your position groups. It's been fantastic. Let's just go over some of the stats, and then we can get into some of your comments and questions, and then we'll get Malik in here and get his grades in a few seconds, right? Drew Pine, 9 of 19, 116 on the day, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Aldrich estimate 20 carries, 123 yards, 6.2 per total, 2 touchdowns. Logan Diggs, 20 for 85 at 4.3 per total, 1 touchdown. Chris Tyree, 8 for 23 for 2.9. Now, let's go over. Carlos Del Rio Wilson. He came in, did an admirable job off the bench. 11 for 22, 190, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Garrett Schrader. I apologize about that. Garrett Schrader was 5 for 14 for 35 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception before he was injured and left the game at halftime. Shaun Tucker. They got him 16 carries on the ground, and then he got 4 receptions for 32 yards. So he had 20 touches on the day. Dino Babers said during the week they were going to get him touches, big-time touches. We said this week, expect 17 to 20 touches for Shaun Tucker. Defense as a whole did a pretty good job. 16 for 60, 3.8 per total, 1 touchdown. Longer 21. The only run of Shaun Tucker's I can say, he had 2 runs I was upset about. I believe it was Justin Abimniola in the first half. They ran a zone to the right, and then they ran a zone to the right. They let him cut back across the entire line and get to the outside. That was upsetting. They didn't set the edge. I think that was Justin Abimniola that didn't set the edge properly, and then the defensive back didn't come up on the back end. That was Cam Hart. And then the other run, it was 3rd and 8, Syracuse territory. Notre Dame could have gotten off the field. Jason Abimniola tries to go inside and wasn't able to reach Tucker. He gets outside of him off tackle and is able to go 8 yards for the first down to extend that drive. I would have loved to see Jason Abimniola force him back inside to the linebackers in the pursuit of the linebackers and the safety and try to get a tackle before the first down. But that's nitpicking. Overall, they knew they were going to see a lot of Shaun Tucker. They did an admirable job. They did an admirable job stopping him, and they did an admirable job stopping the passing attack of Syracuse as well. So you have to be happy about that. Total, Notre Dame put up 246 on the ground, 56 attempts. 56 attempts. They ran 75 plays, 56 on the ground, 4.4 average, 3 touchdowns with a long of 28. Let's start with the offense. This running back duo and Malik, I can't wait for him to get here because I have to give him credit. Malik said this would be, expect for this to be Aldrich Estime's best game in his game of redemption, his redemption game. And that's exactly what we saw. I loved his feet. That's one of the things I talked about when I was watching him in the spring and in fall camp. To be as big as he is, he has fantastic feet. And the way he's able to change directions at that size, get to the outside, bounce things to the outside. He did a fantastic job today, picking his holes, being patient, exploding to the outside when he needed to or had the opportunity to do so. And then he punished the small defensive backs for Syracuse all game long. Cinco Wilson is still trying to recover from that stiff arm or body slam or snuff or whatever you want to call it. Just, get down, young man. Fantastic to see that. The offensive line, we asked, Tommy, please let this offensive line set the tone. That's all we asked. Let the offensive line set the tone, and that's exactly what Tommy gave us. He gave the offensive line the opportunity early to set the tone. Definitely left points on the field. That's been consistent all year with this offense. And let me tell you something. I'm going to be honest. This offense is going to continue to leave points on the field. It just are. Can't blame that on Tommy, though. I'll be honest. If I was going to give Tommy a grade for his play calling and his game plan, I would definitely say Tommy deserves a B. I would definitely say Tommy deserves a B. First of all, for allowing his big guys to set the tone. That's number one. There were times that he got cute. Yes, he got cute, especially there in the third quarter where he allowed Syracuse to jump back into that game. The crowd got into it before the timely interception by Maris Leofow. Shout out to Howard Cross for getting that block or that tip that led to the interception. Great day by the defensive line. We'll talk about that as well. But one of the things that he allowed for the big guys to eat and set the tone. The running backs. I like that he went to Aldridge early. I love that. I love that they went to Aldridge early. But my biggest takeaway from the game, and I tweeted this out, we saw a head coach take more control of his program today. Every fan that asked Marcus Freeman to be more expressive on the sideline, you got it today. He knew when they had the camera on him in the tunnel before they came out, you saw him take the deep breath. He knew how important this game was to set the tone going into November. And Malik said it on Friday. Marcus Freeman has the opportunity over the next 2 games to set the tone for finishing off recruiting and to set the tone for his regime and his era. Get these 2 big wins. Beat Syracuse, double up, beat Clemson, and go into that USC game with full momentum, ready to ruin their chances for a college football playoff. And what you saw, 2 things. I want to point out 2 things. Almost 3 things that I saw today. He was upset with the refs because when they were in the red zone inside the 5, he wanted to keep going. They did not switch out and change personnel. Syracuse was confused. They had 12 men on the field. They tried to get a man off. He was trying to get Drew Pine to snap the ball, take advantage, get the penalty, and also keep up tempo. Don't let them off the hook because they had just been ramming the ball down their throat, and that defense was tired. And the refs allowed Syracuse or the Syracuse defender to get off the field. Man, Marcus Freeman went nuts. He went nuts, and you love to see it. You absolutely love to see that from your head coach. Understanding we have the advantage, and there's no reason for you to give them the opportunity to get off the field because we didn't change personnel. There is no matchup. They're not matching us. We didn't change personnel. We just went up tempo. That's number 1. Then also, peep this. They were in the red zone, had gotten inside the 5. Tommy makes a play call. They're about to send in another personnel group. And Marcus Freeman yells on the headset, no, no, and tells the personnel group coming on the field, get back. No, keep going. Same personnel group, go up tempo, wear them out. No, we're not bringing, don't give them any breaks. No, keep it going. This game, we saw the head coach take more control of his program. No more of this. It's up to my assistants. He took control of this game, and he took a step in taking more control of his program. 4th quarter, the third thing you saw, the last drive or the second to last drive, Drew Pine is in the game. They're running the ball, and he looks down like this and says something. And literally 5 seconds later, Steve Angeli is running on the field, and they turn the camera to Tommy Reese, who has come down from the booth. It was almost like he was like, dude, I told you to put Angeli in. Get Angeli in and get Drew out of the game. Your head coach took control of this program today. Or shall I say, took more control of this program, because I would never intimate that he never had control of the program. He just took more accountability and control of the program today. And it was fantastic to see. Lucky Lefty podcast. Now, we won't have any quotes. I'll see if I can get some quotes from Twitter. Marcus Freeman in his post game. We got the update. The Wi-Fi has to be terrible at JMA. Has to be terrible because Notre Dame sent out that there will be no Zoom of Marcus Freeman's press conference. They will send us the transcripts shortly thereafter. So we'll be waiting for those transcripts. Left said he would be here, I'm sure, afternoon, Saturday. He's probably dealing with the little ones, trying to get over and set up. But we'll get to your comments, questions. Question of the day, Irish fans. Question of the day. Are you impressed with the offense on today? I know some of the things we're going to talk about. I understand. But were you still impressed enough with what you saw from this offense heading into next week with the monumental matchup with Clemson as they come to South Bend? Is it a good stepping stone? Was it enough for you to feel like, okay, we might be able to hang in and play and have a chance in the fourth quarter next week? Things might work our way or turn out our way. All right. And then we're going to get to your position grades. So you might as well get them ready and get ready to put them in the chat. Give me a grade for quarterback, offensive line, running backs, wide receiver. We go to the flip side, defensive line, linebackers, defensive backs, offensive coordinators, and head coach. Go ahead and put your grades in there as well. Let's talk about some of the good things we saw. We had a Deion Colzie sighting. Big time third down reception. He had another reception. Drew Pine was forced out of the pocket, rolling to his left. Did a really good job of turning his shoulders, hit Deion Colzie on the crossing route. He wasn't healthy coming out of fall camp. All right? He wasn't healthy. That was probably the main reason why he was behind all the other wide receivers and wasn't getting a lot of tick. But at this point, he's healthy. Get him on the field, especially in the red zone. Let him do damage. Red zone, third downs. Also, it was really good to see Drew Pine attempt to look for other receivers and passing situations. All right? Understand, the throw to Tobias, which really should have been thrown a couple of ticks earlier because he was open in the seam. That was a great concept, right? Seam route by Tobias, and they had Michael Mayer coming underneath it. And he really had, if he could have hit Michael Mayer in the pocket, but once he missed him in the pocket, the cornerback had dropped off to take Mayer. So, and then he threw it too late to Tobias. By that time, the safety comes over, gets into the play, and causes the deflection and takes the touchdown opportunity away from Tobias Merriweather. So that was great to see. The usage of the running backs, great to see. The swing pass to Chris Tyree. We didn't see enough of it, but we saw it today. Oh, man, 3-3-5. They're playing off man. Swing pass. It's simple football. Simple football. Swing pass with your fastest guy. They took advantage of that a couple of times. Not enough. I would have loved to see it because it was like taking candy from a baby. Let's see. Beat Straw. We appreciate you. This time he knows he can throw the ball on first and second down. So predictable. Next week is going to be ugly. Now, Beat Straw, this was a game. I don't know how you guys feel in the chat. This was a game where I really wasn't mad with Tommy being stubborn and running the ball. And I talked to somebody about this on Twitter because at least they were knocking out 3 to 4 yards every time. It didn't matter what defense or who they brought up to the line of scrimmage or how many they put in the box. Notre Dame offensive line was minimum getting 3 yards. Would you rather have Drew Pine 2nd and 7? Or would you rather have Drew Pine 2nd and 10? And then you're scared to put him in 3rd and 10, 3rd and 8. So now you feel like, man, we have to run the ball again and try to put ourselves in an advantageous down and distance situation on 3rd down. It was just an interesting concept. I wasn't mad with him doing it against Syracuse because Syracuse physically just couldn't do anything to push back. They couldn't do anything to push back. And there was no need. Tommy got into trouble when he started trying to trick Syracuse on 1st and 2nd down. When he started trying to throw toss plays to the right. Dude, stop. Why are you tossing the ball when they have 5 defensive backs and they can see that from 10 yards away and they have speed? That's their strength. What are you tossing the ball to the outside for? Run the ball right at them. Force them to play physical football and wear them down. Thanks, B. Straw. I wasn't mad. And I understand you do want to mix it up, but I really wasn't mad at Tommy. I wasn't mad at Tommy. ND for life, my guy. Steve ain't that bad that he can't get in even when it's obvious Drew Pine is dinged. Yeah, Drew Pine was hurt on that sack when he had forever in a day. Forever. I can't even call it a cover sack because the guys from Irish Breakdown were up in the booth and I was talking to them. And they were telling me that people were all open on that play where he took that sack. He was definitely injured on that play. And they kept putting him out there. And that's why Marcus was so upset that he was still in the game late in the 4th quarter. Like, get him out of there. What are we doing? So I agree with you. Be honest. The best quarterback in the building was the Syracuse backup. If we're going to be honest. Left is in the building.
All right, let me call you back. We here. I was making food for the babies after the game. You know,
I know what it is.
It's the bad start time. We talked about it. We talked
about it. We talked about it. That early start time is the worst. We talked about it. And what did you end up eating, bro?
I had some bacon and eggs for the babies. You know, I had to really
I had a breakfast sandwich. I was sitting there at 11 o'clock start eating a breakfast sandwich.
Can't even get no Wingstop. Wingstop opens at 11:30.
Right.
Yeah, I can't get no Wingstop.
So you can't even order Wingstop, right? Left is in the building. What's your biggest takeaway? Because I talked about the offense. Question of the day, was everyone happy with the offensive performance from Notre Dame despite leaving points on the field? But that's going to happen the rest of the year. Every game, this offense as constructed, especially because of one position that I'm sure Left is going to touch on, they're just going to leave points on the field every game.
Man, it's just it gives so much anxiety watching these games because you're so caught between the fact of, oh my gosh, I know we can do more than this. And why are we looking close with this team? I think even though we won, it's like the score is misleading. Like if you're just checking a little ESPN ticker, you're like, man, Notre Dame's just kicking butt back on top. But if you watch the game, you realize, man, it's a lot going on that I'm not feeling too great about. And you just always in the back of your mind be like, man, if this team was any better. If this team just was like, you know what, I'm sick of this Notre Dame hype and turned it on us, we couldn't do nothing about it. Because I'm sure we all watching like, man, and look, if we lose Michael Mayer, I don't know if we're going to have an offense this year. Like, seriously. And I think that just brings concern due to the fact that, like, it doesn't have to be like that. You know, it doesn't have to feel like Michael Mayer, but it all goes back to the quarterback. You throw in when there's 5 guys around him, even if it's completed, everybody's like, why you do that?
I have no clue. They show, and Greg McElroy needs to understand that Jayden Thomas is not a tight end. He's a wide receiver. I got tired of him saying that. Some of his analysis was off base, but he was right. On that, like Chris Tyree was in the flat with like 20 yards in front of him. And I'm like,
Chris Tyree in there running off tackle. Why
look,
is he
man,
running inside runs?
look. I'm trying to stick to the good stuff, bro. But go ahead.
It's funny
Continue
that
with your
he
takeaways.
keeps calling Jayden Thomas a tight end because that's what we're known for. He's like, it couldn't possibly be a receiver out there getting yards. And he probably saw Jayden Thomas is pretty big. So he was like, look, he probably just got a tight end off the line. The tight end kicked out.
Yeah.
Because they know, even announcers know that we don't have no receivers that's a threat. They go into game prep every week. I did it with CBS game analysis and who the players look for. I bet you not one of them was receiver. All of them was tight end. So they just thought that that's our offense. They think we run 13 personnel, 1 running back, 3 tight ends. And if we want to pass, we kick them out to the wide. And if we want to do something else, we'll take them at quarterback, and Mitchell Evans will have more snaps than Tyler Buckner this season. Like, what are we talking about? We have gotten so driven on being a tight end that we think our few receivers are tight ends.
Yes.
Because they too close to the line.
Yeah.
They not split out wide. When's the last guy you had a guy line up outside the numbers that wasn't Michael Mayer? I can't think of it. If I'm Matt Salerno, he's out there getting cardio. He's out there putting up what's his name? That played for the Bulls. That used to get cardio for y'all all the time. That didn't put up no points, but to be in all game. Not Bobby Portis.
I thought you were talking about Dennis Rodman for a second.
No, you playing for not Bobby Portis. It's the other one. He played for UNLV or played for the Bucks. He played for, and he have a stat line of 0-0-0, but it'd be like 15 minutes. Dark skinned dude.
Tony Snell.
Yeah. Matt Salerno's out there putting Tony Shell numbers out there.
Yeah.
Being a distraction. We got 4 receivers, all 4 distraction for the tight end. How? And I know that's our bread and butter, but how?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah. Sunset Kid, you're a trip, bro. Thank you for tuning in. Can we play Clemson at Clemson? I would feel better if we played the rest of the season on the road. Look, this team, when we came in left, you missed it. I played the Dino Babers clip. I was like, dude, Dino Babers, he spoke it. I'm like, that team showed up. He didn't mention the quarterback at all. He talked offensive line, running backs, defense. And that's the team that showed up. That's the team that showed up.
And the best part, Audrey Estimate came in at that right time, closed the game out.
Good call. You said this would be his redemption game.
You said that.
You said that.
It right here on the pod. You know we be
speaking it right on the pod. You did. Audrey Estimate 20 carries, 123 yards. Him and Logan Diggs getting 20 carries. I like that.
60,
I like
40.
that.
60, 40.
I like that.
60 running backs. 30% Michael Mayer, and then 10%, you call it miscellaneous. You only because it can be anybody.
Here's a question. Mark Brown, we appreciate you, my brother. How much of Pine's shortcomings are of his own design or poor coaching? He shouldn't be having
Pine's shortcomings come from being at a place that is above his talent level. It's like, okay, you winning and stuff, but it doesn't look right. It's because the talent that you have is not matching the talent that surrounds you. And it doesn't always have to be like that. But he has the talent of a, Mountain West. He go dominate. He has some Casey Hill numbers, some at Houston. Houston's a ranked team here and there. A Wake Forest, a ACC, that. But when you talking about Notre Dame, you talking about guys that's in New York. That's what you think of. You think about guys playing championship. You think about Brady Quinn. You think about Jimmy Clausen. But Drew Pine doesn't fit in the Notre Dame quarterback sentence, and it's not. And it's just from a talent perspective. Sometimes it's just the optics. You see a 5'10", 5'9" guy back there at quarterback from Connecticut, you would think this we're shooting for the Rudy 2. Rudy 2. We took the walk on from the business class at Mendoza. He had a lifelong dream of playing for Notre Dame. He walked on, and all the quarterbacks got hurt. He just happened to roll out there versus number 16 Syracuse. It's like a movie. The fact that nobody in that room is draftable is a shame. We have a quarterback room where Nobody's draftable in that room. All the other rooms got draftable guys. Tight ends draftable, running backs to be draftable, receivers. If we get them some more love, they'll be
Let me ask you a
draftable.
question. Who's the best quarterback on the field today, Left?
He wasn't wearing the gold helmet.
Syracuse backup.
He wasn't wearing the gold helmet.
The backup quarterback for Syracuse was definitely the best quarterback in the building. Definitely. Without question.
Definitely.
Without question. And that goes to what you said, bro. Look, that's why I said this offense is going to continue, and we're getting ready to go over to the defense. This offense is going to continue to lead points on the field. They just are. Because of that quarterback position. It's not consistent enough. There wasn't a drive in the first half that should not have ended in points. Not one. And that was with Tommy's questionable play call. They had a touchdown. The screen to Lorenzo, that was a touchdown. That's a touchdown. You pump fake, you get the dude out of the way, you got to make that throw. You have to make that throw. It's a touchdown. And I saw people upset like, oh, Tommy, what's up? Dude, that's a touchdown. And Tommy knew it in the booth. That's why he put his head down like, dude. That's why he called down to the field again. Dude. And dude, they go up by 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, and who's beating their chest in the end zone? Drew Pine. I'm like, what are you beating your chest for? What are you doing this, getting people hyped for? Are you kidding?
You put us in this position. Johnny come lately. You flatten the tire and be like, oh yeah, we can get it patched up. Yeah, and then we get it patched up. I knew we could fix that tire. You busted it.
Right.
You busted it. You the one got the nail in your back pocket, excited that we got the tire back up.
That cat Drew Pine is the scene from Harlem Nights when they're chasing Eddie Murphy because they think that Eddie killed their brother. He jumps into the store and they're standing outside shooting, and Drew Pine is the dude with the little gun. They shooting the place up, and he's just like, pow. That's the offensive line. That's the running back. That's the Notre Dame defense. Here comes Drew Pine. Pow.
Yeah. Pat. You know what I'm saying? Pow. It says pat, like a little tap, pat. They don't say the whole pow. It said pat.
Right.
Little squirt. And that's the thing, you know, and that's the, you know, I don't condemn it too much because, you know, it's been a long day. You know, when you throwing on first down, that means that it's like, bro, I'm just trying to get you going so I don't have to waste these crucial downs to call a play and put it in your hands. So if you see us throwing a bunch of unnecessary 2-yard, 3-yard first down routes, those are handoffs that he's trying to build confidence in Drew, that if it does come through a third down later in the game, okay, you warm enough. You 5 for 5 on nickel and dimes, but you $1 short. You know, and you know, Lord forbid something happened to Michael Mayer, because I think we wouldn't score anything. Like, I really don't think we would score points if Michael Mayer he sat out because he was just tired one game or something. If Mitchell Evans don't play quarterback that game, who's getting the ball? Who's getting the ball?
So, man, look, good performance. We get the win, 41-24. As I said before, it's the reality. Like, you would love for this offense. The offense played well enough. Well, they didn't, because they only put up 41 points. More consistent quarterback play, this team scores over 50 points.
Oh,
easy.
It's the Syracuse that now I can't, 41-24 is not easy. You know, it's not easy. At the Carrier Dome, all the things included for a team like Tulsa with a score like this.
Yeah.
Their podcast is not reacting that way. They're like, man, we have 41-24 Syracuse ranked. Yeah. We 41-24 mad.
Yeah. So
because we know that. Because we know why. You know why? Because November 5th is coming.
Yes.
And everybody and their mama is looking like, if we look like that versus November 5th, it's going to be worse than expected.
You cannot just expect this offensive line to push Clemson around. It's not happening.
Not happening.
I see people in the chat like, well, everybody won. Yeah, everybody did win the game. But that quarterback play is not beating Clemson.
No.
It's
By
not.
no stretch of the imagination.
No. And wait a minute, this is the killing part. Clemson has the same issue.
Yeah.
That quarterback play coming in the South Bend is not beating Notre Dame.
But at least they got the courage and conviction to at least try another guy. But you know why they can try another guy? Because their recruiting is on point.
Bingo.
Their recruiting is on point. We got Drew in there because we looking around, turning around, like, hell no, we ain't doing it.
Bingo.
We like, Drew doing bad. Okay, we get that. We turn around and say, let's try somebody else. They look, oh, no, we good. We just have to ride this out. We're going to have to ride. And how? Clemson is like, okay, we got a QB problem on our hands. Okay, we're going to stick by our guy. That's our guy. We tried everything we can. But we ain't getting fired over it. Dabo like, I ain't getting fired over it now. I'm going to put in my young stud. What are you talking about?
JP, thank you for the super chat. We appreciate you. I'm happy with the play calling for the most part. B will be my grade for the OC. Quarterbacks gets a C minus. Missed too many wide open guys. Have run versus Clemson to win.
Talking about wide open guys, that goes back to forcing the same guy. It's like you passing up open guys to hit your guy because you're like, look, either I can't trust the guys around me, or like I know that I'll be safe if I throw it to his side.
Yeah.
And that's not a problem, But throwing it against around 5 dudes and passing up a flat that was on TV, it'd be different if it wasn't on TV because the fans can't talk and tweet about it.
Yeah.
But we're staring at the screen, dude waving his hands, acting crazy, and then you throw it against 5 dudes. It's just bad optics.
Can
we
go talk about this defense, bro?
Defense.
This defense stood up.
Thank God for our defense.
They stood up. This defense stood up. Special team stood up. Defensive line did a fantastic job. They knocked Garrett Schrader out, got him out the game. Isaiah Foskey was a monster all day. Riley Mills was in the backfield. Jordan Botello got on the field, made plays, came up with 2 sacks. It was collective effort. Let me tell you something. I'm a man. Look, I'm fair, bro. I'm fair. I'm looking right into this camera. JD Bertrand, you played your tail off today.
He played his tail off, yeah.
You played your tail off today, boy. You hit JD Bertrand, you played your tail off today, boy.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I'm fair.
We
played his tail off.
Hey, we might even have to play that clip again. That clip. He must have saw that clip before the game and said, you know what? Damn it, I changed. I have to live what I'm talking about. Played
his tail off. I'm happy for the kid. It's never a question whether or not he plays hard. Got to make the plays. Hey, man, I need one change. I need Al Golden to just stop blitzing blitz on another down. Blitz on first down. Blitz on third down. You know there are other downs that you can blitz, and there are other blitzes. It's amazing that every time they have a safety or defensive back blitz off the corner, it gets home. Every time. But he keeps throwing that double fire, and they just keep running into line. And I just sit there and say to myself, we're just giving the middle of the field away. Just give it away.
Yeah, basically.
It's like, come on, man. But you have to be excited, right? Teams are going, look, Benjamin Morrison is nowhere near physically where he's going to be. He needs to
that's going to happen naturally.
And they had tall receivers, and they tried him all day, and he held up. Clemson has tall receivers. They're going to do the same thing. He keeps holding up week after week. So I just have to give the young man is scrappy. They put him out there and say, hey, bump and run. All game long, bump and run. And that's exactly what he does. That's exactly what he does. Jaden Mickey got back in. It was good to see him. Tariq Bracy's just a dude, man. He's just a dude. On that last touchdown, he might have stepped down out of bounds. But I don't know what Clarence Lewis was doing. I have no clue. I don't know what he was doing. But I can't say too much because he blocked the punt. So,
and in a good sense, it shows the versatility of the players and the talent on the team. Guys can do multiple different things, and when you start to see the team on a momentum swing, you start to see that come out more. So I don't know.
Hey, Greg Listener had a question. I don't know about this. He said, Malik, what's with the shade Ian Book is throwing at you on Twitter?
He threw shade at me?
I don't know. I guess.
Let me see. Let me check the facts. Let me check the facts. I don't know, did he? I'm trying to see. Well, whatever.
Hey.
If he did, I don't understand why I'm not lying. It's like I don't like the hindsight. I don't like the hindsight stuff. Don't get on Twitter and stuff and start atting me at the end of the game when you see the score and the final results come up and now you just so happy we won and like you always knew. I'm watching every snap. If I complain about some shit that don't look right in the game, it didn't look right. What's the problem? Now in hindsight, 40-4, 41-24, we handle business. You got 3 touchdowns. Listen, November 5th, I can take all that. We beat Clemson 41-24 next week with the same issues. I'm okay with all that.
He responded to your tweet when you said, what's the bigger problem, 5 for 10 at quarterback or 5 for 10 at quarterback? And then Ian Book replied, 41-24 Irish Pine Time.
That's what I'm talking about. Look at what is the time that I put that tweet and what's the time he sent that to me? That's what I be wanting to prove. If you sent that 3 hours after I tweeted it in the middle of the game,
facts.
I'm not listening to that. I'm not listening to that.
Facts.
I'm not listening to that. If you tweeted me that and your prediction of 41-24 right after I tweeted it, I will respond to the tweet and be like, bro, you right, bro. I was tripping. I wasn't tripping at the time I said it. And I love the whole.
You know what? I was about to say something disrespectful, but I'm gonna stop. He can relate to Drew Pine. That's why he retweeted that. I'll leave it at that.
And you get your guys back. I mean, I got Drew back when he's doing well too.
Yes.
That don't mean he escapes criticism.
Yes, ED3, Pine Time. That's what we saw today at Syracuse. Pine Time. Really? Was it Pine Time against Stanford?
Yeah, where was Ian tweeting after the Stanford game? Because that's what they tweet about.
Nowhere to be found, bro.
And what they do is they wait till they win, just like they do Russell Westbrook. Oh, he triple-double king. But nobody wants him on his team. Kevin Durant. Oh, I don't know why they talking bad about Russell. You left him.
Look, man,
you left him, and you won't go back.
We love Notre Dame. We love LL Nation. We love all Irish fans. But we're not capped. Not this podcast.
We're not capped. Like, that's a cap.
Up, dude.
Ian, I love you to death, but that was capping, Ian. You capping, Ian. You waited till the coast was clear to try to say something like, oh, you was really wrong for real. You got Drew Pine all wrong. You got Drew Pine all wrong. It's Pine time. 41-24. It's Pine time. Well, what about Stanford? Did his clock go away? He missed his clock? He missed the time? You didn't check in to work? You didn't tweet me after that. I was saying the same stuff. I was saying the same stuff when we lost to Stanford about the same guy that you talking about Pine time.
That's Pine time right there, boy.
Y'all just made up Pine time today.
Man, look.
What was
Let's
prime
get
time
that.
at Stanford,
Hey,
bro? Come
we
on,
don't have
man.
time for that foolishness, man.
That's foolishness, man. That's foolish.
Let's get through these grades, man. That's beneath us.
Let's get through these grades.
That's beneath us.
That was crazy, Ian. And I had a parlay on you this weekend too, bro. I had to switch my parlay for Sunday, bro.
What's your grade for the quarterback, bro? We'll
The
start
Eagles losing this weekend. How about that? The Eagles are losing this weekend because of that. Damn it. Grades this weekend. Where we starting at?
What's the grade for quarterback?
Quarterback, I'm giving him a C plus because we scored 41 points.
Okay. All right.
Because we scored 41 points.
Okay. What's your grade for the offensive line?
Offensive line, I give us a hallelujah. I'm glad we got a foundation. I'm always going to give them a B until we lose. B plus because we won out away in an away game. I can't give them an A because we lost to Stanford. I need a couple more games to pass by before I start giving out A's. But a B plus from the offensive line.
Wide receivers totaled for 62 yards and receptions today, falling short of both of our predictions. Charlie Jones will probably outdo that today by himself.
Charlie Jones.
Yes, man. What's your grade for the wide receivers and tight ends?
A question mark. Because it's like, okay, I can have a grade for Michael Mayer.
What's your
but
grade
everybody
for
else, I don't know, bro. My grade for Michael Mayer, I give him an A. Because without Michael Mayer, what do we have?
So
and it's crazy
what you're trying to say is it's unfair to properly grade the receivers because of another position. Okay, I got you. What's the offensive line?
I think I saw Cosley catch one.
He caught two.
Okay.
He caught two.
And I can't even. What you gonna grade that?
What offensive line?
Oh, we did offensive line. I gave them a B plus. Receivers, I got a under NA. Non-applicable.
Coordinator.
Man, Tommy in an away game. I like the fact that it's kind of the dust is settling. We know where we at. If he don't call a perfect game, he gonna be mad because he ain't making the right reads. And damn it, if we call some bad plays, we can't get out of them. So for this situation, we winning today. I got to give Tommy a B plus.
And last but not least, let's go. Well, no, let's go to before we get to that. Let's go to the defense side of the ball. Defensive line. Yeah, you're right. Cozy caught 3. I'm sorry. Yeah, I guess he did. Yeah, he did. Go ahead, defensive line.
Defensive line, holding them to 24. I give him a A because I really like the fact that Falsky showed up. He's the leader of the D-line. When he shows up, we show up.
Let's see. Linebackers. Hey.
JD Bertrand played his ass off. So
I might give JD an A. I might get
JD get an A. Everybody else get a B, but JD get an A because, man, it's good to see. We was ready to walk the plank with you. But, he said, nah. I worked on my skills in all season. Marcus Freeman had us prepared. What do you say? Had us prepared, ready to go. We just didn't execute, and I executed today. Love it. Secondary, I'll give them a good grade. I'll give them an A because Al Go and go put us in some tough positions for them DBs to cover, and they covered.
Your grade for Marcus Freeman today?
I like he kept his cool. I would always like him to be a little bit more animated just because, the brother gives such good speeches. You would think it'd match the field, He'd probably a rah-rah on the sideline or something, but give Marcus Freeman an A, big win at an away game against a ranked team. His first ranked opponent win, right? So yeah, we take it like that.
Man, Lucky Lefty podcast. Once again, 41-24. Notre Dame goes up to the JMA Dome and crushes the Orange and walked out of there with a nice tall glass of orange juice.
That's right.
Yes, sir. That's how you do it. What's your star of the game?
Michael Mayer. Because, hell, without him, where would we be?
I'll go Aldridge.
I should say Aldridge because we predicted that he show up today, and he did. So, okay.
And we're doing a good service. Shout out to Brandon Joseph.
That's right.
Kick 6 early. If it wasn't for the offsides late, you would have had another beautiful interception in the end zone. Come back from injury. You did your thing, boy.
That's right.
16, we need you to step up. We need you to continue that next week. November the 5th, baby. We've been talking about November the 5th since the middle of the summer.
Recruiting Super Bowl of the year. We're going to win Pimba. Pimba, I hope you sit in front.
Everybody's in the building. Everybody's in the building. Everybody. Marcus Freeman took more control of his program today. You got to love it. Hey, that's the post-game show. We'll dig deeper into the post-game comments. Maybe we can get some audio from it. If not, I don't know what else to say. 41-24. You got the rest of the day to enjoy college football, enjoy this victory. If you have a drink responsibly, get home safe, talk trash to everybody else. Let them know we're 5-3 and we're coming. We are Notre Dame. Celebrate, be excited. It's only up from here. We on our way up, and we gonna be all the way up. I'm amped. I'm amped. I don't care what happened from a statistical standpoint at quarterback. Let's go. Let's go. Lucky Lefty Podcast. We spend it different. Have a great day. And we'll see you on Monday, 10:45. Right back here. Lucky Lefty Podcast. Yep.